broken heart syndrome. As usual, Catherine's come up with some just amazing graphics. I love the cracker over there, or the cookie. Um, and so as you can see, Takotsubo syndrome. This is broken heart syndrome, also known as stress cardiomyopathy. Cardio, of course, being associated with the heart, myopathy, myo being the muscle, and pathy being some form of illness or dysregulation. So a shape or muscular illness or disease of the heart, often called Takotsubo syndrome after one of the people that really helped delineate it. So this often, not occasionally, this often occurs when someone experiences severe emotional or physical stress. Again, it's often spoken around, since it's broken heart syndrome, around emotional distress, but it can also happen with physical distress. So I've got some pictures here. It was first described in 1990 in Japan. That's accurate in terms of it being called Takotsubo syndrome or Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. I actually remember someone that I knew telling me I had to turn on Oprah Winfrey, and this was decades ago, way before the 90s, saying that there was a doctor on talking about broken heart syndrome. This doctor had pictures. He'd taken x-rays of someone's heart, just kind of as an exam. And I don't know why he was doing the exam, but an exam of someone's heart. Then a significant other to that person passed away suddenly. He took another picture of the heart. Again, a great doctor. What a brilliant idea. And it was stunning. It didn't look like the same heart. You would never have guessed it was the same human being, because these changes can happen very, very, very quickly. And again, the word Takotsubo comes from the shape of a pot. It's a pot that's used to trap octopuses. And so if you look down here at the bottom, you see this heart on my left side is larger at the top, smaller at the bottom. And that's a typical shape for a ventricle. The ventricles are the bigger. There are two atria and two ventricles. The blood comes into the atria, either from the body or from the lungs. Then it goes into the ventricles, and then it is pumped out. And the right ventricle pumps it into the lungs, and the left ventricle pumps it into the general circulation. This is really an important part of the heart. It really is going to determine how much blood flow gets from the heart into the general circulation. And now if you look over here in this middle picture, you'll see that that shape has changed quite dramatically, and you have a much larger bell shape at the bottom of this heart. That misshapenness causes a whole range of problems. Whenever the heart gets out of shape, one of the ventricles gets enlarged, one of the atria gets enlarged, that changes the electrical conductance. So there's something called the sinoatrial node, which is the pacemaker in the heart, and it's sending out electrical signals. Sends them to the atria and to the ventricles, and they have to be in a very, very, very finely controlled order so that they pump in the right cadence. If they don't pump in the correct cadence, for example, if they all started pumping at the same time, all four, well, the blood wouldn't do anything. It would just get kind of squished around in there, but it wouldn't get moved from chamber to chamber or through the lungs or into the body. So it's really finely tuned electrical dance that's happening here. If the ventricle or the atria, but if one of the chambers gets out of shape, then the length of time for the electrical charge, I'll call it, to get from the sinoatrial node to the area that's going to cause the chamber to pump could be longer or shorter, and generally longer. So it's going to take longer for that electrical impulse to get there. The timing will be thrown off. In Takotsubo syndrome, what happens is that through high stress, the shape of the heart changes.